It was a hot ass Monday today here in the hills. 90 degrees. I'll bet the humidity was 225%. I mean, I was dripping every second I was outside. You go outside right now. I got the critter mic on with the window open like a fool. But it's like walking into a can of soup.
You got one of those 5-gallon bucket air conditioners blowing some heat around?
It's sitting right at my feet right now. I just made that thing a couple days ago, and it kicks ass, dude. I really like it. You know, you throw a gallon of...
Did you improve on it, put a bigger fan on it?
No, I still got the same old, the video I sent you. I haven't improved on it yet. But I do have another fan out in the shed that I'm going to try with a motorcycle battery, smaller. Mm-hmm. So this one actually plugs in USB right to the side of my PC, so I can keep it right there at my feet. Yeah, but yeah. Oh, by the way, this is Boiler Room Radio, everybody, and this is UCY.TV, and it's Monday, effing Monday, June 16th. God, we're halfway through this month already. We're halfway through this year already.
Yeah.
Where is the time going? It's like you fall asleep one night and wake up and it's the weekend already, and then, God, you got to start it all over again, right?
I mean, the theory's always been, not the theory, the rumor's always been, the older you get, the quicker time goes, so. It
does. That ain't no shit. Because I can remember when I was a kid, man, I was like, God, I can't wait till I'm 18 years old. And it took forever to get to be 18, and then it took forever to get to be 21, so you could drink your first beer, and then it took forever to get to be 20, you know.
Yeah. And then before you know it, you're in your 40s. And
looking back going, where the hell did all that time go?
Yup. Damn, I wish I was awake a little bit earlier.
Shit. Well, no, I don't know, man, because the information overload is getting to me now, man. It's like a tumor. It's like I got a tumor in the back of my head of tooth.
Yeah, I was talking about that with somebody today. I was like, it's just, you know, they're saying they just don't have a good feeling about something. Anything. And I said, anything. And I'm just like, you know, I hear you. It's coming from too many different directions at one time. And what's it going to be first?
Right. This might be the last summer you people get to enjoy with your families and stuff without having to worry about where you're going to get your next meal. So take advantage of it. Take advantage of it.
Even if that doesn't happen, I mean, you could have other, you know, instances. I mean, we're getting ready to go back to war in Iraq. I mean, we've got some serious stuff on the plate right now.
Yeah, and I'm really not feeling good about Yellowstone. I mean, everybody can call me a tinfoil hat if they want to, but there are certain geological things happening around that area, not just on Yellowstone Lake or on the caldera, but all the way around the caldera and all the way up that fissure into Alaska. They're having earthquakes in Alaska to the 5+ magnitude range now that they haven't had for decades. And that fissure, that crack in the plate, is the same one that runs through Yellowstone Park. So I'm really, really keeping my eye on that, you know.
Well, we got 10 days before the, you know, the Simpsons warning 526.
626.
Sorry. 626. Or was it 624?
622 is what I thought it was. 622.
I don't think it was.
Because that's what Scott said. On the, you know, he was like, June 22nd, I can't even enjoy my birthday without worrying about something big happening. That's what he said. It was the 22nd, so it's next week.
Well, take it with a grain of salt. I'll see
later this week. Yeah. So anyway, speaking of things happening in the planet coming to a halt or cracking open and, you know, whoa, what was that, man?
I didn't put my phone on silent.
Did you just set your lightsaber off in your pocket?
That's an email that I just got.
Okay. Let's try to jump over to Smoke'em's Market Minute and see what's going on Wall Street and the debacle taking place.
Well, the market was like...
It still hasn't cracked 1,700.
No, 16,700. Both the stock market and the bond market both ended in the green today, which is one of those, you know, weird... it's becoming a regularity more than a, you know, anomaly.
What, the manipulation?
Well, that's becoming pretty normal. Couple of the good, and I'll have some bullet point ones in just a minute. But my one today, you know, my King World News, I'll do one of those. Gerald Celente, which everybody
like G.
that name.
I like G.
He's the founder of Go ahead.
Go ahead.
He's founder of Trends Research, and many consider him to be one of the top trends forecasters. And he had obviously picked '08. He'd been warning people a couple years before '08. He warned them in the dot-com bubble. But anyway, King asked him, Gerald, the Financial Times recently ran the front page headline, Volatility Extinguished by Moves from Central Banks. When you see these types of headlines in major media, do they serve as a contrarian indicator?
Contrarian
indicator. It's interesting that since the day that headlined the Financial Times, stocks have shown weaknesses. He said there are so many outside forces that are influencing the markets. How could anyone possibly think that moves by central banks are intelligent decisions that are going to stop volatility? The central banks have been wrong continually. That's not to say that they can't stop a crisis from happening, but they can only do it temporarily, as they have effectively done. But they can't stop it forever. And we're seeing that already now with an increased volatility of the markets as we speak. And the emerging markets is what everybody's warning. Jim Rogers is really warning about the emerging markets too.
Like China?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, taking over.
Yeah.
And the central banks don't know what the fallout is going to be from the major oil price spike, which may very well happen as Iraq goes into further destabilization. So that's why we're there. We've got to protect that oil. It was getting ready to go back into the ISIS. Is that what their name is?
Yes.
They don't know what's going to happen as the crisis in Ukraine continues. This could lead to destabilization in Russia and Europe. We also know that the central banks are limited in what they can do to stop any kind of crash from happening, especially if it gets out of hand. They could come up with schemes undreamed of, like negative interest rates. How about
they just did that to you.
Yeah, how about more quantitative easing? How about the Chinese central bank saying one thing and doing another to stabilize their country? So, yeah, the central banks can temporarily stem that, but extinguish it, that's a fairy tale. And he said, if you remember, it was the housing that caused the panic of '08 and brought down the house of cards. People forget that following the dot-com bubble bust of 2000 and after the September 11 attacks that followed, what they did to rescue the economy was they lowered interest rates to 46-year lows, and this created the housing bubble. And then when interest rate went up, the housing bubble popped. So expect the same thing coming.
Like a bad stick of gum.
Yeah. The other one, interesting news to all of us, you had actually dropped it to me and I had seen it, but the IMF cuts its growth forecast for the U.S. economy this year and said the Federal Reserve may have the scope to keep interest rates at zero for longer than investors expect. Oops. The Washington-based IMF...
Maybe that's because we don't have an economy in this country?
Well...
I'm just speculating.
But it's funny here, the Washington-based IMF now sees the world's largest economy growing 2% this year.
What?
Down...
Why is the International Monetary Fund based in the United States? And why is the United Nations based in the United States?
Well, it's because, the UN, we have to go back to one of the presidents that had the New World mind, and then they put them in. But as far as the IMF, it's always at the country that has the biggest, GDP, the biggest profit, the biggest economy.
What?
And that's why it's here now.
What's our GDP? What's our GDP?
Well,
what's Russia's?
Paper on paper or...
Well, okay, whatever, go ahead. Sorry.
No problem.
Sad rant.
But they're down from an April estimate of 2.8. So they said we're only going to grow 2 instead of 2.8. The IM left a 2015 prediction unchanged at 3% and said it doesn't expect the U.S. to see full employment until the end of 2017.
50. Sorry.
We see prospects looking up for the U.S., but we also believe that attention must now turn to the kinds of policies needed to lay the foundation for growth that will be sustainable.
You people are effing delusional.
And when have we ever known them to be able to do something like that? So, never. But, basically that's biting the hand that feeds you. So the IMF is coming down on us. Usually they're not going to talk bad about the country, that's supporting them.
We've had our credit rating downgraded by Moody's. So why wouldn't the IMF jump on board?
Well, that's just like time. Time doesn't exist. It's only an artificial means of measurement that we use to measure growth and stuff. So, I mean, that doesn't exist either. So,
okay. What you got next?
The USDA issued its first license for vaccine to fight the pig-killing virus.
And, Texas and Oklahoma have lost a lot of pigs to this virus, if you're talking about the one that's just now going through the U.S.
I am. The U.S. government today said it issued a conditional license for a vaccine to protect animals against a deadly pig virus that sparked a huge surge in pork prices. And I can tell you...
I'm sure that vaccine has a RFID chip in it.
Well, it's going into animals, so I don't know if I would have an RFID, but...
Nanobots. Because we're going to eat the shit later.
Eat it. The product will be available for sale directly to veterinarians and swine producers, according to a statement from the manufacturer, Ames, Iowa-based Harris Vaccines. There are no restrictions on the vaccine use under the conditional license. The U.S. Department of Agriculture's Animal and Plant Inspection Service said in a statement. So I'll say that again. There are no restrictions on vaccine use under the conditional license. 8 million pigs.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I heard it. You said it twice. So I was just still dumbfounded.
Me too. 8 million pigs in at least 30 states have died from the porcine, I don't know, the porcine epidemic diarrhea virus since the U.S. outbreak began a year ago. Because that's what it would. There would be diarrhea everywhere. It would just shit and then die. And it was always 100% fatal to the young piglets. So we'll see what happens to pork. And that scares me because, pulled pork is
one of his faves.
One of my favorite. And, when we
You need to go fence in the backyard real quick and go get you some swine so you can raise your own.
Hey, man, I am right across the river from the largest Chinese swine factory on the planet.
It's Chinese, man.
It's Chinese. I got faith in them.
I got sheep.
Faith. I was watching the Discovery Channel thing and on how safe they are, so it's cool. And I was watching one on Bigfoot, too. You should see some of that stuff. I kind of believe that now, too.
Bigfoot's always been out there. I've always believed in Bigfoot. I'm not shitting you.
Me too, but I don't think you need to be looking in Texas. I think you need to be looking in Alaska, Himalayas,
I don't look in Texas. I'm looking in Arkansas. There's been over 300 sightings right here around me.
Yeah, but I've seen some of the people from there, like people at Walmart from Arkansas. It could be just some rednecks out there. I've seen some of you people out there. So.
Shave that lady's back, man! Jesus Christ!
Speaking of ladies' backs, if anybody hadn't Googled the YouTube video, there's a country song now that Michelle Obama's a man. And it's a country
drop that in chat, dude. Are you in chat? Drop that link in chat. You guys got to go to YouTube and watch this video. This is the funniest shit I have seen all year so far. Oh my God! Drop that in chat, dude.
Yeah, I will. I'll get it.
Okay. He'll get that in there to you guys. It's about Michael Obama.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. It's country western.
Yeah.
And lastly, Russia holds rates as inflation near the peak and waiting for the ruble to recover. So Russia's central bank, which has raised borrowing costs twice in 2014, they kept its benchmark interest rate unchanged, while the ruble is recovering from a 5-year low. So it's at 7.5%, and we're at 0.
Mm.
That's all the news that's fit.
7.5%. Then we're at 0, and we're going to stay at 0 for a while, according to the IMF.
Well, I mean, according to IMF, according to both presidents of the Philadelphia Treasury.
Plus, all the guys on Wall Street don't have near enough money yet. I mean, they still got to put circular driveways in at all their houses and shit and buy a new yacht. And
well, it's funny.
You people out there listening to the show, you still have some more money to give up. So
you do. Yeah, you do. But it's funny because when I was going through the money section of one of the sites that I go to. It was probably 4 or 5 different people, Manarino, Greg Hunter, the Jim, the King, and all of them, we're pulling out the cards and saying, hey, this is, we're getting near the end again. And if they keep saying it long enough, eventually they're going to be right. So, just like BP Fear Watch.
Yeah. I'm worried, man. The sun's going to cook the inside of the earth. That's exactly what's happening down in Antarctica. If you guys aren't paying attention down there, there's large magma flows that they're detecting underneath the ice that's melting the shit from the bottom up.
Yeah, which the methane release
it's not man-made. Right. It's not man-made.
Right. Oh, no, not at all.
It's Earth-made global warming because it's global. It's not man.
It's Nibiru coming through and pulling the tectonic plates with its magnetic pull. But that's a topic for another show.
Yeah, we'll have to do something on that next week, maybe. Anywho, what else you got? You got another story over there? Or are we going to move on to the videos? Or
video time.
Oh, okay, let's jump over here then. I don't know who else has been going to YouTube and having that page load slower than molasses in winter, but it's been for going on a week now for me. I don't know if it's just me. I mean, everything else loads just like lightning, but YouTube sucks. Anyway, here's Scott. It's Monday. He's going to drop one, and then we'll play some other stuff. Manarino's, I don't know. Did you hear the one? I passed it to you.
I did. Yep, I did.
Is it worth giving a who?
Half of it.
Okay.
Just like usual.
Okay.
5-6 minutes of it. He's always sailing it.
So here's Scott's 214.
Hello, this is Scott, and this is the Hyper Report. Here are the quotes for various items. First, economics and war. This is rich, folks. First, the cold winter was being blamed for the bad economy, and even summer heat was being blamed. Now, we have an economist that believes that the lack of wars is causing a bad economy. And wouldn't you know it, we have Iraq flaring up, and then there is Russia. Next, 4. The U.S. and Russian saber-rattling continues as officials at NORAD admitted that an F-22 fighter jet intercepted not 1, but 4 Russian bombers 50 miles off of California. Well, at least they were still within the U.S. Constitution free zone that exists up to 100 miles within the U.S. border. Next, central bank limitations. According to Gerald Salente, central banks don't know what the fallout is going to be from a major oil price spike due to the Iraq situation. Central banks are limited in what they can do to stop any kind of crash from happening, especially if it gets out of hand.
What?
I said that's the story we just talked about.
Yeah, it is.
Add to this is the new housing boom that will collapse like a house of cards when interest rates go up. Next, toxic core. Common Core and its idiocy has become toxic to politicians as more than 30 states move to dump the socialist agenda curriculum. Next, armed. U.S. citizens are now arming themselves with military-type guns and equipment. Gee, I wonder why. Could it have something to do with the fact that 1. We have SWAT teams invading families' homes for small crimes? 2. Even with video evidence, cops murder people and are not punished? 3. Police departments are buying military equipment? The Second Amendment was written so that the government would be afraid of the people, not the other way around.
Ding.
Next, no IRS backups? More than a year after receiving a subpoena about the IRS's targeting groups opposed to Obama, officials at the IRS state that 28 months of lowest learners' emails no longer exist. With remote servers, no crash could take out all of the records. Where are the backups? Nixon had his missing 18 minutes. However, Obama's criminal gang will see no need for an independent prosecutor for the missing 28 months.
Nah.
Next, feds pushing cops. The Department of Injustice is quietly pushing local police departments to remain quiet on unwarranted and unconstitutional cell phone monitoring technology. All content on all phone calls are being monitored and very likely recorded to be used against you in a kangaroo court. Finally, please prepare now for the escalating economic and social unrest. Good day.
Those learner emails are there. I've seen people lose their computers in a house fire, okay, and take it to a what do they call it? A technological archivist or forensic technician, and they can get those emails back. Those emails are there, Lois, and they're going to come out eventually, and they're going to toss your ass under the bus. Just hold on for the ride.
Oh, well, it seemed pretty legit to me. I didn't even question it.
Please.
Because one certain set of emails that are really needed, conveniently, go missing.
Mm-hmm. It's so, it's blatant. The whole bullshittedness of this whole administration is just so blatant. It's not even funny anymore. It's really not. It's getting irritating.
Oh, I know. I'm pretty anti-government stuff when I post on Facebook and whatnot. And I got some fool that I got into.
You're really close to D.C. You get somebody kicking your door.
Yeah, I know. I hear. But, I posted the one about, school children are off limits. Please don't shoot them because law-abiding gun owners are the ones that pay for it.
Right.
And I got these nut jobs on here, hounding me about, well, you should be worried about gun control and it's needed and this and that and that.
So I'm not worried about gun control. I got mine. You got yours?
I had to post the meme of the trooper leaning in the car window and said, "Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to leave the internet. You're just too fucking stupid." So
you dropped the F-bomb on my show.
I did one time, only because it was in a meme, so it really wasn't. I wasn't in passion.
That makes it okay.
I wasn't in passion mode, so.
All right, that's okay. Okay. Here's Greg. 6 minutes, right?
Hi, everybody. It's me, Greg Manarino. How are you today? It is Monday, June 16th, 2014. All right, people. If you're paying any attention to what is going on geopolitically,
you should be pissed.
With regard to our own economy here in the United States, you know this. There is a lot going on. And I want to try to shed a little light on a few things that are just so important. And they're so, right in our faces as well. But it's interesting. Let's talk about it. So today, we heard from the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, who has now downgraded the U.S. economic outlook. This is very interesting. In the face of every single thing that we've been hearing out of the mouths of our policymakers, out of the mouths of our own Federal Reserve, and all the financial channels out there, we find out that the International Monetary Fund is downgrading U.S. growth. So this is no surprise to any of us who understand that there is zero economic recovery here in the United States, and this is nothing but a propped up terminal side effect from the crash of 2008. Understand that, people. That's all this is, and I can't stress that enough, and I've gone over this so many times, and that is just so important to understand, and I want to talk about that as well, because we're watching an unfolding of events right now, which really lead me to believe that the world central banks, in collusion, notice the word collusion with our policymakers, they are all very, very desperate
patting
right now.
Each other on the back.
And they're going to do things, people, that are going to shock all of us, and one of them is going on right now. Let's talk about this. People, I tweeted earlier today, and I posted on Facebook and on LinkedIn. If you do one thing today, just one, you need to start educating yourself about the petrodollar. It's the basis for every single thing that is going on right now, and the unfolding of events.
Say that again.
Ding, ding, ding.
What, in regards to
petrodollar?
Oh, yeah.
That's what we talk about all the time.
See ya.
Petrodollar crashes, we crash with it.
My book here, The Politics of Money.
Yeah, now listen to this. Okay, listen to this. Hang on, folks. I got to stop for a second. He's getting ready to read from his book, Politics of Money, which I think he wrote right after the 2008 crash. Okay, so this book's been out there for a handful of years, and I want you to listen to what he wrote in this chapter years ago. This is why, even though some of you don't like this guy, and I kind of don't like some parts of him too. I mean, he's a decent human being, but he's a Wall Street chick. Listen to what he said. This guy knows his shit, and that's why I play him on my show.
21. This is the title.
The title is The Path to World War III.
Listen to this. Tell me if this sounds familiar to you as to what's going on right now. Here we go. The debt crisis now encompassing the world is the prelude to an upcoming much greater juncture, global war. All of the pieces are being put into place. Alliances are being created between nations, Russia and Iran, Russia and China, Russia and the Middle East. It seems as if the Cold War is starting all over again, except this time the stakes are even higher.
Is that prophetic or what?
Look around the world. Everywhere there is rising tension, which seems to be getting worse with each passing day. Riots, revolts, increasing public anger, saber-rattling between nations. And what is the root cause of all of this unrest? Sovereign debt. And what is the root cause of all of the world's sovereign debt? It all has been brought about by nations with debt-based economies created by the world's central banks. Mm-hmm. It's very interesting, people, because what we're watching now, especially with this action here in the Middle East, and what's going on here in Iraq, I really want to put a more clear perspective on this view. But I want you to understand something, that if you understand this one concept, you are so far ahead of 99.999% of the population out there with regard to an understanding of how money works. It's just incredible. And here we go. You often hear this, why do we give cash away to this country? Why do we give cash away to that country or this cause? Why do we give tens of billions away to countries that spit on our flag and burn it? Why? Very simple concept, people, and I went over this in the last video that I did, and I even talked about it in an interview that I just did with Greg Hunter. I'm going to place a link right down here in the description of this video so you can watch the interview. It's all about the monetary system we have. It's a debt-based economic model. You have to understand this for what it is, and the petrodollar, because it's all connected here. Okay, so again, we give all this cash away to all of these countries and all of these causes, and really it doesn't matter to our policymakers or the Federal Reserve where it goes. It just has to be dispersed. You have to understand this. It's about the relentless acquisition of debt in perpetuity. You can't stop. And I went over in the last video and the interview that I just did with Greg Hunter how the propagation of war is paramount in this type of an economic model. Again, do a little research. The United States has been involved in more military conflicts than every single developed nation on the globe,
put together.
Multiple-fold. Combined, multiple-fold. And that is because the U.S. dollar is the world's reserve currency, and they need to keep it propped up. And they'll do whatever they can to keep it propped up. Now, the development of events here in Iraq, this is no accident, okay? Understand that. And a lot of people are faulting the president's foreign policy about this. I'm no fan of President Obama. You know that. But there are people honestly pulling his strings. We know this. They allowed the situation over there to unravel to where it is now. They need to propagate war. Right now, we're sending warships over there.
We already know all this that he's getting ready to go into. He's going to take a Wall Street perspective of it. But everything that he has said up until this point, and he starts, yim-yawn, is correct. It's correct. And you even heard Lance chime in there with his ding, ding, ding. So,
shit, we've been talking about the petrodollar for a year. And you ask somebody on the street, what's a petrodollar? And they'll be like,
no clue.
I don't know.
Is there a country named Petro? All right. You got anything you want to add to that? I mean, it's getting pretty serious. I mean, this shit's getting ready to fall down around our ankles.
Well, the Iraq thing is concerning again, and we'll see if anybody tries to stop us. But even John Kerry came out and said to Iran, hey, we're willing to sit down and talk with you one-on-one on how to solve this problem now. So when John Kerry comes out and says he's willing to sit down and talk with Iran one-on-one to combat the ISIS, that's in, there's something wrong with that picture.
Very much.
And when he was saying, they have to, the world's currency, keep it going, just finance both sides of every war, and you're always going to be the profiteer.
Because that's the way the world works, right? Well, war makes money, and the guys that usually are making the money are funding both sides of the war, so they're always going to make out in the end, right? They don't care. Shit gets blown up, they rebuild it and buy it. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, then they own it. They get all the people that are living there. They're like, hey, you owe me. You owe me. I rebuilt your shit, right? You owe me.
Yeah.
So that's the way it goes.
It's crazy, the propaganda that we've grown up believing on how great we really are.
Oh, yeah. Our humans are better than all the other humans on the planet. That's why we bomb them about every... Well, see, when I was a kid, it used to be every 20 years, right? And we were very prolific in war back then, going to war every 20 years. That was an average, right? I mean, it wasn't every 20 years we had to go, 20 years, got to go to war. No, but it was just an average, right? Now it's up to about every 12.
Well, they're the little ones, Grenada, Panama. You know, they just don't
still
hear,
they're killing people, right? I mean,
but I mean, they don't make big news. They're not a year long. They're not a real conflict. But yeah, we kill a lot of people.
Lots of people. We kill lots of people. Google the word democide, people. DMOCIDE. DEMOCIDE. Democide. It's the murder of humans by their government. Look at how many people we've taken over the last...
Not necessarily by their government.
By governments, period. By governments.
By governments.
Yeah, it's war. Not religious war, governmental war. Religious war is even higher. More people have been killed over gods than anything else on the planet. But we're running a close second with government.
If all religions teach peace, then why don't we have peace? You know?
Right. Jesus wasn't teaching Christianity. Buddha wasn't teaching Buddhism. Allah wasn't teaching Islam. They were teaching love.
Well, one of the three never walked on the earth, but go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. They were teaching love. That's all.
Was that Carl?
No, that was a crow out there.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yep, I hear it now.
Mm-hmm. Carrying somebody's soul off.
Rat bastards with wings.
They say, though, I mean, there's all kinds of old wives' tales about ravens, how you're not supposed to kill them, and if you kill them, it's a bad omen on your house. But if you see them around your house, making squawking and shit, that's bad news for somebody in the house. That's foreboding of something happening soon or so. Mm-hmm. So I just never have liked ravens. And I'm not really sure. Is a raven a crow? Is a crow a blackbird? Is a blackbird a raven? There's like all these. I don't know if they're all the same or if they're different things.
I thought there was a difference.
Yeah. Maybe I'll have to Google that sometime later.
Darn right.
Yeah. I know somebody that would know. Salt Lake City Mike would know. So if you know,
in chat,
I just saw him poke in there, hey, if you know, Mike, tell me what's the difference between a blackbird, a crow, and a raven. Just throwing it out there. So what else you got on your plate tonight, man? We're going to do some jumping around here now. I'm going to pop over to my Twitter. I've got a couple stories I want to hit.
Nothing.
You ain't got nothing?
No, I took a pain pill and just sitting here chilling now.
Oh, yeah, let's get the update on your whole...
It's awful. It's awful. It's awful. It's gotten, worse. Last Thursday, I went in for the biopsy where they shoved a huge-ass needle and took 5 biopsies out of 5 of the lymph nodes. And the 5 that were down below the really big one that was the size of a, plum, now are all about the size of a plum. So I've got 2 plum-size large masses in my groin, thigh on my leg.
This is not good. This is not good. Where they took the biopsies out, I mean, I understand maybe a little swelling because they did, invade your body right there with a needle and take some meat, but it shouldn't have just stayed there. I mean, the swelling should have went down. Have you tried putting ice on it or heat, or did they tell you anything about that?
No, they didn't.
They tell you to elevate your leg, or?
No, I mean, I don't walk around on it as much as possible because it hurts. But
staying sedentary is not good either, though.
Yeah, I'm going back tomorrow. So the results of the biopsy will be back tomorrow. So they'll have a game, and we'll figure it out.
Do you have any black streaking?
Nope.
Okay, that's good. That means that there's no... Well, I don't know about any infection progressing to the inside, but I think the necrosis, I think the venom got into a vein.
Yeah, well, that big one, they tried to drain when he stuck the needle in there. They were going to try to drain it and push on it to get out any liquid. And there wasn't. It was a solid mass. There was no liquid in it. So they were like,
it's connected.
Can't get anything out of there.
Yeah, there's something going on in there not good, man.
Yeah, I imagine it'll require surgery at this point, but, take it in stride. Is what it is.
It is. All righty. We'll jump over here and hit a couple of stories that I thought were just a little too off the rocker and we got about, 20 minutes? That's good. We'll get this. You guys know about the people that are being arrested for all the anti-Obama stuff. That's been all over social media, so I'm not going to hit on that.
Well, I'll tell you what, I haven't believed much of it. I mean,
there's a couple, man. I mean, we even covered the story of the Marine about 6 months ago that got picked up and taken in for eval for 72 hours, and they didn't charge him with anything. They took him away in handcuffs, and they didn't charge him with anything. I mean, they violated about 35 of his rights, and he's got a handful of lawyers that are suing the state and the county and the locals and the feds for pro bono because it's like a $30 million lawsuit I think he's got going against him for violating his rights and shit. And I think he's going to win that one. So, because one of the judges, when they let him out after his eval, they were like, you had no right to even take this kid. You got no evidence against him. So, I think he's going to win that one. I think the government's going to pay up on that. And I think they're going to back up a little bit. I know they want to try to control the web and all that shit, but it's like trying to take our guns, folks. You're not going to get the job done. Ever.
Mm-hmm. But there's no reason we can't have sensible talk about gun control.
Shut your pie hole.
Well, that's what the people are trying to argue with me, and I'm like, dude, you got no idea.
The guns don't kill the people, idiots. The people kill the people. The gun is just a machine. It's like driving a car drunk. You don't take cars away from everybody simply because somebody got behind the wheel drunk, right? All right, shut the F up then.
Oh, I know. And they're like, well, you need to read the Constitution. And I'm like, well, no, you need to comprehend.
Well, dragons are purple. Dragons are purple. Your argument is invalid.
That's why I had to put the meme up there. Sir, I need you to leave the internet.
You're just too stupid. All right. Let's jump off another rabbit hole before I get going and slip with an F-bomb. This is out of Fresno, California. Pay up, people. Pay up with some attention. Meth lab found in California retirement community. Police and residents of a retirement community were stunned that a 64-year-old Northern California man arrested during a traffic stop was accused of cooking meth inside his apartment at the facility for seniors. Just shocking someone that age would do that, but actually a perfect place to do it, right? Retirement village. Who would suspect going there? Fresno Police Lieutenant Joe Gomez said. On Sunday, the day after Robert Short of Fresno was taken into custody, 64 years old. Police pulled over Short on a routine traffic stop in Fresno late Saturday. During the stop, officers learned that Short was on supervised release for selling meth. While conducting a search of Short's car, officers found 4 ounces of crystal meth, plastic bags, electronic scale, and Brian Valley said investigators then went to Short's apartment at the California League Fresno Village Retirement Center for seniors. There they found a half a pound of crystal methane with a street value of more than $1,700, some heroin, and materials for a small meth lab.
That's pretty funny.
Short was booked into Fresno County Jail on suspicion of several drug charges. Police said it's not known if he will make his first appearance in court or if he's retained a lawyer, the Fresno County District Attorney's Office said Monday. Police said the evidence found in Short's car and apartment were consistent with someone selling meth. Gee, you guys are geniuses. Short's neighbors at the quiet senior housing facility told KSFN-TV that despite the tight-knit community there, they didn't know Short, who kept to himself. I would never have guessed that anything like that was going on in a senior's village, Tenant Robert Shremick said. That's from KSFN-TV out of San Francisco Gate. 64. Selling meth. Selling heroin. Cooking meth. Surprised they didn't smell anything. It's a good thing he wasn't a smoker. He might have blown a bunch of people up. Only in America. Only in America. I thought that was funny, too. I had to tweet that out. Now, this one's not so funny. And that one only took a couple minutes, and hopefully we'll spend a little more time on this one. Because I want to.
Well, I had one that you dropped me that I wanted you to talk about too, or
okay. Well, you can
comment on it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's hit this really quick, and I want to see if you got any kind of comments on this. Do you have any comment on the 64-year-old geriatric meth head?
Nah, that's some funny stuff, man.
Okay. This is not so funny. I'm really mad at myself that I didn't get this cat's name. We have a soldier down in Mexico that's being held for crossing the border with some guns in his car or something like that. I'm not sure. Yep. I'm not really sure what the whole story is. I know that he is an active duty Marine, I think, and he should not be down there under any circumstances whatsoever. The federal government should already have him back here. But anyway, listen to this. 4 Mexican police officers crossed into U.S. territory and were detained by our agents. They claimed it was a mistaken violation of our sovereignty, and guess what? Within 48 hours, they were back in Mexico. If you remember that we have jailed Marine hero languishing in a Mexican jail hellhole despite his mistaken crossing into Mexican territory on March 31st, you aren't the only one. Fox News' Greta Van Susteren, who has done yeoman's job covering the Marine's travels, unleashed her story on Facebook today, blah, 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 blah. Okay, but anyway, this is the deal. The U.S. Border Patrol says that it had arrested 4 Mexican police officers who mistakenly crossed the border into Texas while searching for a man who had been shot in the leg. Border Patrol spokesman Agent Ramiro Cordero says that U.S. agents found the wounded man on June 5 near a Texas farm not far from the Mexican border. The El Paso Times reports Saturday 4 other armed men were arrested when they crossed the border. Cordero says these men turned out to be Chihuahua State police officers who had mistakenly crossed into the United States while looking for the gunshot victim. Cordero says the officers were returned to Mexico 2 days later. Meanwhile, Barack Obama turned over 5 worst terrorists at Gitmo and blah. Okay, they're going to go on into that shit. He's not said one word about the jailed Marine that's sitting in Mexico now. I have heard nothing. I haven't heard anything on mainstream media about him. Now, granted, I don't watch Fox News, and Greta might be doing a great job.
CNN had a story on it.
Well, for what? 2 minutes?
No, it was a little. I mean, I remember catching a little bit of it, but I had already knew about the story, so I didn't finish watching it.
But there's
I'm appalled at it. I mean, that's something's fishy with that.
Yeah.
I just don't understand it.
I don't know if you caught the picture today. There's something going on with the whole Mexican authorities thing that just stinks to me right now.
Yep.
They're in collusion. I love that word. They used the word earlier today. I think it was Mandarino. They're in collusion with the Mexican authorities. There are trains coming across the border from Mexico that have people stacked on top of the cars to get in illegally. And there's no train border crossings. I mean, not that I know of. They just roll across the track. You know, I mean, they don't stop and search every goddamn car on the train, right? And they're just riding on this train up into the country. These people are being well provided for before they cross now. Some of these people are coming across, and they've got bladders on their back. If you don't know what that is, it's like a camelback, like a water bottle that you carry with you when you're going on long-distance hikes and shit like that, right? And they're packing to come over here for years and years and years. These people are dragging all their shit through the desert because they know they're not going to go back to Mexico. They're going to turn them loose here in the United States. I don't know what the deal is with this. I don't know what's going on with this. I don't know who told them it's just a free willy, come call, bring everybody, bring the whole family. But we got no jobs here in this country. What the hell? What are you people doing? Go back home. Go. We got no jobs here. Look, there's 98 million of us ain't got a job. That's a third of the country. Where are you going to work? Where are you going to stay?
6.7, 6.5.
Whatever. And the only people that are saying anything about this is social media.
Well, I remember the day after Bergdahl, got released, the meme started with, hey, we'll trade you these 220 people, and it showed a picture of Congress, and, we'll trade you these 5 politicians for our one Marine.
Yeah.
And there's been, social media is how I heard about it in the first place. And if I want any updates, that's where I've been going. I haven't even seen anything on it before it's news or, any of the other alternative Daily Sheeple, none of those sites.
No, not seeing nothing about it. But they're flooding over here. The U.S. Border Patrol can't even do their job patrolling the border because they're too busy taking care of the flood of immigrants that are coming over here. They got to try to feed them and get them someplace to lay down on blankets and pillows and blah, blah, blah. They're swamped doing that. They can't even go out and check. So, they're just coming across willy-nilly because there's nobody watching the border anymore either. Nobody can man the drone stations. Nobody can watch the cameras because they're all busy trying to take care of the people that are already here, that are already flooded across. It's like they hit at 30,000 a day for a little bit and just kind of overwhelmed the massive Border Patrol agents, because I know we have so many down there. That was sarcastic, people.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, we can go.
It's not amazing. This is by design. This is all by design. But I'm having so much trouble trying to keep these dots in order, man. This connect the dot puzzle is getting huge, out of control, huge. I'm having trouble connecting. Why are they doing this now? I mean, we're just about in war over in Libya, Syria. Iraq's kicking off again, right? So, W. Bush and H. Bush are just having a, hell of a time down in Texas, high-fiving each other and shit.
Yeah, I'm ready. Petition for some peace, man. I'm ready for some peace. Why can't we just all be... There's anarchy in the government. Can't we all just get along? There's no anarchy already. When the government can plead the fifth, there's anarchy already.
That's not anarchy, man. That's not anarchy. You need to learn
there's no rules. There's no followers.
Well, okay, you got me. There's chaos in our government. That's what I see.
It's a shadow government really running the thing, and that's really the problem. Is most people won't accept that. Oh, what's cool? My wife left today for 10 days for Washington State.
So that's cool, huh?
Well, no. Here's what's
cool. Make sure I text her that and tell
her. No, it's cool. But she had to lay over in Atlanta and then had to fly out.
What the hell did she go to Atlanta for?
Dude, you have to go around your elbow to get to your ass when you get a Priceline deal and you pay $212. You travel a little bit. Yikes. So she went to Atlanta and then had a long layover in Denver. And I was like, oh, dude, Google the Denver murals and go get pictures of them. I said, if you have time.
Wait.
What?
Wait. She was going where? To Washington, D.C.?
No, Washington State.
Oh, Washington State, okay.
Olympia. That's where her sister lives. She's a psychologist out there in Olympia.
Okay. So what did you say about the murals?
Well, I said, have you heard of the conspiracy of, the Denver is the new capital of the United States? They got the huge underground city there.
Yeah, tell her to get on the elevator and go down to the...
Yeah, it's full of satanic ritual paintings and murals everywhere of people killing kids and shooting them. I said, you really got to go check this stuff out. And she's like, what's funny? Now, she said, what's funny? In two, like the Hunger Games... They didn't really say it, but it was Denver. That was the capital there. And then there was one other one that was really big, that was very mainstream, and it had Denver as the capital of the United States once there was a cataclysmic event and everything else. She's like, it's weird that you say that. And I said, well, no, just Google Denver airport conspiracy. You'll spend the next couple hours being amazed. Mm-hmm. And so she's out there now. She should be out there now. So hopefully she got some pictures of those murals.
Mm-hmm. They've changed some of them.
Oh, of complaints or something?
No, well, no, I think that's just... Up. Well, I don't know. I just know that there's an original copy of when they were first put up.
Right.
And then somebody put up another set, and they had changed the mural. Somebody came in and changed it overnight.
They probably got tired of the information desk going, what? My kids are going to have nightmares after looking at this. Why do you have this up there?
Well, I don't know. Either that or something changed. I mean, they might have changed their playbook, right? And decided, no, we're not going to do that. Let's do this. No, we're not going to do that. Let's do. Oh, well, we're too late for that, so just go ahead and erase that.
They have to advertise it or else it won't work.
Mm-hmm. 10 days, you're on your own. No kids in school. Don't got to do no running around.
Nope.
Damn. All you got to do is sit there and watch your leg get bigger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would imagine they're going to do surgery this week. I wouldn't see why they wouldn't.
Have you gone around your house and sprayed?
For what? Spiders? There's no live spiders on the property. There's no live spiders on this property.
There's no live foliage? I mean, did you burn that?
No, I didn't burn everything down, but I can assure you that there's no live insects or bugs anywhere within 10 feet of the perimeter, inside or out of the house.
Nice. Did you have hazmat come by and just fog the area? Chemtrail?
They are not my friends. They are not my friends right now. That's for sure.
I got a bad feeling about it, man.
I've lost 43. I weighed 278 the night I got bit, and I weighed in for my biopsy on Thursday morning. I'm at 236. I'm wearing clothes that I haven't worn in 6 years. I mean, I'm wearing nothing 2X or 44 waist, 40 waist, extra large shirts. It's amazing.
Wow.
But when you were sleeping 12 to 15 hours a day, there's not much time for eating during all that.
No, there's not. But there's not much time for exercise either. It's a wonder that you can still walk. It's a wonder you haven't atrophied to the point where you can't crawl out of bed.
I had a little bit. I was like a polar bear. I had all that energy stored. It still has room to go.
Yeah, he barbecues up that energy every weekend, folks.
Yeah, it was a little hard.
Where is my goddamn bacon?
I've been sick. Remember, I got bit by a spider.
That's excuse number 9. Now that your daughter's graduated, have her cook me some, because she's the one that ate my couple of pounds.
I know.
So throw her ass outside and tell her, here's how it goes, kid.
She's a graduate now.
She doesn't have time for humans anymore.
She doesn't have time for us anymore. And she's a waitress now at the Melting Pot.
Oh, really?
And I'm not sure if you know what that is.
Nope.
It's a fondue place. Very expensive. Ooh. I mean, it's like $80 to $120 for a family of 4 to go there and eat. But you have to cook your own damn food, too. Yeah, oh yeah, they got bananas, chocolate, but then you have your meal of lamb and beef and chicken and fish, and you cook it in the oils and different flavors. And I'll tell you what, it's pretty good. I mean, it's kick butt.
Wow, if it's like that kind of price tag, she's making some good.
She's making some serious cash in tips, that's for sure. And she's 18, and
I mean, if it's 20%. I mean,
she's making $600 to $800 a week in just tips. I'm like,
very nice.
Damn, so she's
Don't
out.
Tell that on the air, dude. Now Uncle Sam knows you.
Oh no, she's going to claim everything on her taxes. Don't worry. And she's out shopping. You can't get her away from the malls and stuff now.
Coach purses. Or I don't even know if that's the new big thing. I don't know what the new big thing is. I don't pay attention.
My brother works at Vera Bradley, which is a big, designer, luggage, everything. And he's the buyer for him. He actually goes to China and stuff.
Wow.
And
that's brave,
so
man.
We have Vera Bradley everywhere.
He doesn't go to China. He goes to Hong Kong.
I bet he
doesn't go to mainland.
No, it's China. I'm pretty sure it was China. Maybe it's Hong Kong, but I was pretty sure it was China. He went over there one time.
There ain't a whole lot of people going to mainland.
Well, it was they were selling to him.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah, he was selling to him.
You sell to the state of China. Thank you. Thank you very much.
How much news going to get out of China?
$600. Detroit? Yeah? Okay.
You know, I heard Wendy earlier today saying that Detroit wasn't, they got all kinds of cops and whatever saying that that it's a war zone up there. And she's like, it's not a freaking war zone. She's like, I go down to Detroit about twice a week, go down to the river. It's really nice. People are hanging out, fishing. It's green everywhere. It's not a war zone. There's a lot of rundown houses and shit, but, it's not a war zone in Detroit.
Pocketalized. I made up a word there.
Pocketalized?
Yep, it's pocketalized.
Oh,
there's just different pockets.
Different pockets of, yeah, could be.
Well, I mean, we've had callers that have called in, listeners, and said, in certain areas, the police aren't going to, it'll take them forever to get down there. Don't know how true any of that is, but we know a lot of it's vacant.
I'll tell you what, Wendy, why don't you run downtown some night and just get on the phone, call 911, and start hitting, hit start on the watch and see how long it takes a cop to get to you.
Nah, I wouldn't do that. You can get in trouble for a bad 911 call. You don't want to deplete any.
No, she's got stuff she can bitch about when they get there. Just pick a really crappy corner and stand there and go, this is ridiculous, you guys. Come on.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Oh, man, we bullshitted our way through another 60 minutes of radio live on UCY.
Yeah, how's your mom doing?
She's doing pretty good.
Everybody want to know.
Yeah, she's doing pretty good. Got a doctor's appointment tomorrow. Going to go check out her meds and make sure her body levels are getting all, evened out and whatever. Been checking her blood pressure for the last week, since all this hoo-ha happened. And,
she's getting her daily naps
and down and up and down. Oh, goddamn, she sleeps more now than ever.
That's right. I take a 3-4 hour nap every day, too, now. I still don't have a whole lot of energy.
Yeah. But, the blood pressure still got me kind of worried. It goes up and goes down. It goes up and goes down. It goes up. But I got her completely off soda. We're not doing any soda anymore. I started her on juice, and we're eating fruit tray instead of Snickers. And I still let her do her peanut butter and toast, because that's cool. It's all right, I guess.
I got to throw a plea out there.
What?
If you drink sodas, Pepsis, everything else, please stop, man. Please stop that stuff. I mean, anything that cleans battery acid probably shouldn't be ingested. Please stop that.
It's killing you.
Yep. Cut out that high fructose corn syrup. Look at your ingredients. It's amazing. I went out to a diner, Ma and Pa Diner, today when I dropped Cheryl off at the airport. Mm-hmm. 3 things on the table started with high fructose corn syrup. I'm like, look at this, man. Look. This is what we're putting in our bodies. This is why we're fat. This is why we're not living longer.
And I know usually when you go shopping and stuff, you're in a really big hurry and you just throw the crap in the basket. But go into a grocery store just for 20 minutes one day when you're not busy and you're not shopping. Just walk around and grab stuff off the shelf that you usually eat, flip it around and look at it.
There's always somebody that makes it without bad stuff in it.
Yeah. It'll scare the hell out of you, man.
Yeah.
Peace and love, everybody.
Peace and love.
Stay tuned. Turboville's next. We've got, I think, Prepper Chicks is on tonight. Well, I don't know. It might be. Well, yeah, Prepper Chicks is on tonight, I think. Replay. Or primer time. I don't know. Anti-Media Radio after that. UCY.TV. The only place to be. Internet radio. Peace, people.